think I've received, by the time I got home last night, I had like 436 text messages. I counted them. And I just kind of made it a point to, between then and now, to try to reply to all of the text messages. So I replied to all of them. In the midst, I think I went to sleep at 4. And to couple that, I have a 11-month-old who's crying every 2.5 hours for a bottle that I got to get up and give the bottle. So, you know, it's been a short but long day.
Were you surprised at the response?
Yes, it was pretty much overwhelming, man. I never seen anything like that. I didn't think 436 people had my phone number to text me. You know, it's crazy. And then on top of that, the social media, your Twitter and your Facebook feeds, and you know, all of that goes to your phone, so it's going off every single day. And now you have the phone calls. That's extensive. It's crazy. But people will call and just say congratulations. So I just put it on Twitter and Facebook. Look, I'm not going to be able to reply to everyone, but I love you all and thank you so much.
In terms of where a win like this ranks in your program, where would you put this one?
I definitely think it's number one. I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, Chris always has the facts. I think it's the first time in the history, not only NCCU, but the MEAC has defeated an ACC school. I think prior to that, they were something like 32-0. So it's just not supposed to happen. And for us to be the little engine that could, so to speak, you know, is amazing. And it's something I told the guys that they can carry with them for the rest of their life.
And Poobie, talked about now you guys turn around
and
these teams come out here and maybe now you have the target on your back.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I didn't want anyone to anoint us because we played well last night and give us a sense of entitlement that we unrighteously deserve. You know, we still are a low major university who has to grind and play extremely hard and have the ball bounce our way, you know, to win basketball games. So, you know, that's going to be the challenge from this point on. And I'm sure we'll be some other team's Super Bowl, but, you know, we have to come out every day and remain focused and grind it out.
It's like you said, you used a phrase that, you know, MEAC team beating an ACC team isn't supposed to happen, yet it did.
Right.
And there wasn't this crazy celebration last night.
Yeah.
It was almost like the guys were like, you know, we belong in this position.
That's the last thing I wrote on the board, you know, that you belong. As I'm walking to the podium, and it's crazy, I had a lot of time to think about this. I'm walking with Poobie and Jeremy, and it was a long walk. It's probably like 100 yards. And we're just talking and we're saying, like, the connection amongst us all is that we've all been slighted, we feel. You know, I'm walking with two guys who didn't have a scholarship offer from D1, D2, JUCO, anywhere. You know, and now they're walking to a podium after defeating the ACC school. And I was a middle school basketball coach, and when I got hired here, I know it was a lot of feedback saying, you know, why are we hiring a guy without a long resume, only have a high school resume and things of that nature. So, you know, you feel slighted in so many ways. Even as a university, you know, you want to make sure that people understand what the acronym NCCU stands for instead of UNC Central. You feel slighted when people mispronounce your name in the arenas, and the Eagles are coached by LeVelle Moton. So you carry all this and it fuels you in the belly, you know, and because you feel like it's a lack of respect. So, and I told our guys, the only way to get respect is to go defeat someone that is respected.
Were they better prepared in a position to handle the way State came back on because you have tested these guys with high D1 teams?
We've been there. You know, a couple of years ago, and I was talking about this today with Jeff Capel, who's now at Duke, but he was at Oklahoma a couple of years ago, and pretty much the same situation. We led the entire game, and at the end of the game, we were up 3, and the kid hit a 3 to take the game into overtime. I can't tell you what happened in overtime because that shot depleted us. And at that time, I had 2 freshmen on that team by the name of Poobie Chapman and Jeremy Ingram. So I hope they learned something from that. And immediately when the kid hit the shot, it was human nature for me as a coach to think back like, oh, Lord. I'm thinking about all the karma from 5 years old. I'm like, Lord, what did I do, you know, to deserve all this? And they instantly run up to the huddle and they say, Coach, we're not going to let you lose. That made me feel good, but I felt better after that 5 minutes, you know, but I hope they learned something from that. And just the confidence that, you know, they were going to put us on our back and carry us, I felt comfortable with that.
especially the seniors you just mentioned, and you've watched these guys grow. Like you were saying, you got guys in here that didn't have scholarship offers and
Right.
got their shot here. To watch them grow to the point that they were able to pull that off last night,
Right.
it's got to be something
Yeah.
meaningful to you.
That's the evolution. It's almost like seeing your child grow. It's like seeing your child write in cursive or graduate at the end of the year. You know, that's the process, you know, that as a coach, you try to give them. You try to teach them the totality of being not only a basketball player, but a man. And, you know, you realize that those values and those intangibles will not only help them on this basketball floor, but just in life itself, you know. So ultimately it's something that they can take with them and cherish forever.
How much fun was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Winning is always fun. You know, you enjoy it, and I told our guys, chew on it, embrace it, and they can soak it up until 1 o'clock today at lunch, and then it's over with. At 1:01, it's over with. You know, we got to come in here and prep for a really good App State team.
Is it even more special because it is one of those three monstrous schools that are right down the road? It would have been great if you beaten Oklahoma, but is it even more special because it is a school that's just 20 miles down the road?
Yeah, because, you know, historically they say this is Tobacco Road. This is the greatest show on earth. You know, if you want to know how to play basketball, come here. And, you know, for the longest, you grew up in this state and all you hear is Duke, Carolina, and NC State. Those are the first three schools. And I think we got 17 or 18 state schools, but it's really 15 more in those three, you know, according to some people. And, you know, they all have national titles. They all have people that's arguably the greatest basketball player to ever face the earth. And these kids shoot in their backyards with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown, pretending to wear one of those jerseys. And when you have a chance to compete against them and defeat them, you know, that's something you can tell your grandkids. You know, that's something people can never take away from you.
Does this further carve the niche that you're trying to find for yourselves here?
I think so. I think it's a step in the right direction. You know, as I told the guys last night, you know, I looked up on the wall and there's no banners up there. There's no championships. You know, it's just, you know, a spirit. But, you know, we're not going to be content or satisfied, you know, and I'm not trying to, it's tough for me as a coach because I'm like, the reality is it is a superb win. It's an epic win. But the second reality is we ain't won nothing. Like, we're just 3-1, you know, so that's it. Now, I don't get a pay raise or a contract extension if I lose every other game, and they don't go to the NBA because they beat State. So, you know, we right back at ground zero right now.
It's been surreal, actually. Coming into practice now it's a little different. It has a little different feel to it because we really haven't gotten together as a team to talk about the game. It's just been through text messages and talking to our family and friends and our peers.
What's the reaction been like on campus today?
It's been amazing. I've been here for 4 years now. We've gotten so close in about 4 or 5 of these games. And it's totally different. When you win one, it's actually like everybody's shocked. And, you know, we're shocked as a team also, but we feel like, you know, we're good enough to where we can hold our own.
Was there a point last night where, I mean, obviously you guys came in feeling pretty good about it because you played so well, but was there a point last night where you guys were like, this is happening?
Actually, my freshman year, we played Oklahoma in the same situation. A guy hit a three-pointer, sent it to overtime, and we kind of sunk down like, oh, it's over now. And that point that you're talking about was this year, was after that. We kept our heads, we came to the huddle, and we were all composed, and that was the difference.
Playing some of those teams like you guys have, you know, you Wichita's and those kinds of teams, does that prepare you just a little bit more? You mentioned the Oklahoma game.
Of course,
years ago.
of
Does that
course,
prepare you for that?
of course. Mentally, even after, if you play at Wichita State or if you play a team like my freshman year in Miami, where you get blown out, eventually throughout the game you realize that we can actually play with them. But at that point it's too late. So it builds confidence. It's confidence, and now we felt like, you know, we were good enough.
That was not a wild celebration you guys had last night. It was almost kind of business-like.
Yeah, we talked about it in the locker room with our coaching staff and amongst each other that, you know, we planned on being in that position. So we celebrated before the game, you know, to get all our celebration out. So that way when we were in that position, it wasn't a surprise.
Did it sink in last night after that win? As you said, you guys have been through so much, been so close to getting this type of win. Did it sink in last night, or did it finally hit you today that you guys have this first ACC?
It definitely hit today. I couldn't sleep last night. Me and my teammates were in the living room talking about everything, talking about the bad things, the good things, and it still really didn't sink in, even though we had all the support and everybody contacting us. It didn't sink in. I don't think MEAC school has ever beaten an ACC school, so to be the first one in history is even bigger than just for our program.
And you guys play again tomorrow, so how do you kind of just respond to this? Put it in the back, or you feel comfortable just carrying this confidence through this next game?
I mean, our confidence didn't really come from this game. It helped it, but our confidence started in preseason. So, I mean, it's a quick turnaround. Our last thoughts and reactions from that game will actually be today in film, when coach is probably going to, chew out a couple of our players. So that'll be, it for that, and we'll be preparing for Appalachian State at home tomorrow.
It's one thing if this win had been against, say, Cincinnati or Oklahoma or something, but for a team 20 miles down the road, for a major school like that to be that close to you and to get that win. Is there just a little something extra sweet about that?
Of course. Coach touched on it yesterday. Being on Tobacco Road with Carolina and Duke and NC State, we get lost in the shuffle. And I mean, rightfully so. They're great programs with prestige, but we feel like we have a tradition as well. So to finally get one is amazing.
Does this kind of help carve a niche out for you guys now?
Of course. I mean, if you think if we were a team had just knocked off a big opponent, they would have the target on their back. So now we have to approach every game like we're going to get everybody's best shot.
How quiet was it in the gym last night when the game was over?
Eerily quiet. It was too quiet. It was a great feeling seeing their fans leaving, you know what I mean? And that's not as a disrespectful thing. It's just, as a basketball player, it's certain things that you feel and that you sense, and that was a great feeling.
Do you take a moment or two to kind of soak that in? Because those don't come very often.
Yeah, I mean, we took a moment to soak it in the second half, and we ended up going into overtime. So we kind of waited to soak that in after the game.
I've been after the game, but I hear you.
When did it sink in for you that you guys had captured this first ACC victory as a MEAC school in NC Central?
Well, really, it didn't really sink in until the buzzer rung for real, because like the first regulation, we thought we had it won for real, but they hit the big three and took us to overtime. So when the buzzer rang, that's when I knew.
And just the reception today, coming back to campus after this win, how was that?
It was pretty good. I mean, everyone was congratulating us and stuff, and more people were speaking than normal, of course. It was just good experience.
So you feel a lot more popular today than 24 hours ago?
Yeah, definitely. A lot more popular.
What has that reaction been like? I mean, is it everywhere you walk right now, right? People congratulating you?
Yeah, it is everywhere we walk, actually, but the main thing is just staying focused because we have another game on Friday, so we can't be overwhelmed by that one. Just got to take it for what it's worth and keep on moving.
Do you have any idea how many Carolina fans you made happy?
Well, I don't have an idea, but I would assume it's a lot, for real. Knowing that they're in the same conference and we beat them, so probably made them a lot happy.
Have you guys talked about trying to refocus for Appalachian, or is that even an issue?
I don't believe that's an issue at all, because really we felt like we were going to win, so it's not really a refocus thing. It's just on to the next.
When they hit that three last night, I mean, you guys could have, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case.
Yeah, that wasn't the case, actually, because we knew we had 5 more minutes, and we still had more in our tank because we prepare for that every day, those type situations. So we had 5 more minutes to play defense and score.
Coach said one of the last things he wrote on the board was, I don't know the exact words, but you belong, we belong, something like that.
Yeah.
The end of the game, you guys weren't going crazy. It looked like you kind of had this attitude like we do belong.
Yeah. Well, Coach always say like we don't consider ourselves like HBCU or MEAC team. We put ourselves in the same shoe as all the other big conferences, ACC, Big Ten, whatever it is, because like we work just as hard as them. So whenever we go into those games, we feel like we belong and we're going to get them everything we got.